What's up, guys? It's me, Cyrus. This is going to be part two of my little stroll down memory lane, where I look at some of the first games that I had for my favorite console of all time, this thing, the TurboGrafx 16. And it is a beautiful console. I know there's a lot of people that don't like it. They don't like the way it looks. Some people really criticize this and they think it's hideous and this sort of thing, but I personally have always loved the way the TurboGrafx 16 looks, especially with the CD attachment. It looks amazing. It's a pretty old console. The CD-ROM does still work. I've mentioned this before, but not as well as for my Duo. That one works much better, but she's still hanging in there and still functional. And Hue cards, or in this case turbo chips for the TurboGrafx, they still work fine. EverDrives work fine. This is my it's not the newest model EverDrive, but version 2, I think. And I love this console to death. It's absolutely amazing. So we're gonna, like I said, continue looking at some of the first games that I ever got for the TurboGrafx 16. It's just a brilliant console. Really fun, really good games. And the first games that I ever got for it were all turbo chip games before I ever had the CD, because I didn't get the CD attachment back in the day. I actually got a Turbo Duo when that came out. We looked at 4 games already: Victory Run, Vegas Tactical Gladiator, Vigilante, and Keith Courage. And we're going to look at 4 more today of the first games that I owned. So if you're a fan of the TurboGrafx 16, you probably played these games, some of which are better than others, but I think they're all really fun, and they're all very iconic to this console. Like exclusive games, or at least games that were exclusively thought of to be like TurboGrafx experiences and things like that. So we're going to jump in. We're going to take a look at some of these. I'm going to give you my thoughts, share some gameplay, and we'll go from there. I don't own the Hue cards anymore, or turbo chips, excuse me. I don't own those anymore. I just use the EverDrive for everything. But we're going to be playing them over here on my CRT, and we'll go from there. So hang out with me and let me know what you think of these games as we jump into 4 more of my original TurboGrafx 16 games. Here we go. Okay, so first up is Legendary Axe. It's a game that I think is just fantastic. Definitely shows off the graphical power of the TurboGrafx, and just a super fun game. So yeah, it's got like some platforming elements to it. Kind of reminds me of like Rostan in some ways. Reminds me of a lot of different things, a lot of different games, but it's got its own style to it. I just love the way the graphics look. Everything's like really colorful and interesting, detailed. Like you get like power-ups, and the enemies you fight are like humongous. Like, look, it's pretty cool. Ooh. Another thing that this game has in common with Rostan is the sequel is really nothing like it. It's very different. There we go. You can power up your axe to where it's more powerful, and you can get it to swing faster, and there's just a lot of cool stuff you can get. Power up your life bar, you know. I see a lot of people struggle when they try to play this game, and that's because they don't know the timing. They don't know when the characters are going to come at you and how to respond to them. A lot of this game is about learning how the characters move, you know, how the enemies will come at you and what you need to do to fight them. This is one of those games that I saw advertised for the TurboGrafx 16 when it was very first coming out. I would see these ads run during cartoons and stuff. And sometimes I think I would see them during wrestling. Because I used to watch... This was around the time period where I actually watched wrestling when I was a kid. And so I would see commercials for this. And they would always show this really huge boss that you have to fight later in the game. And I just thought it was super impressive. And the graphics didn't look like anything else I'd ever seen, you know. The TurboGrafx is like that. There's a lot of games that just look so different from the other consoles, the other things that were out at the time. It has a very distinct, unique look to it. I gotta be careful because I'll play this literally until I beat it. Love this damn game. If you're willing to put some time in on it, this game is extraordinarily awesome. But we got more games to look at, so check out Legendary Axe for yourself. It's an amazing game. It's one of the best. It might be the best. When this game came out, it got Game of the Year in Electronic Gaming Monthly. So it's a fantastic game. Absolutely. Graphics, gameplay, music, sound effects. Just awesome. Just an awesome game that you can actually come back to and play over and over and just have a great time. So, but let's check out something else. Military Madness. I have talked about this game before, and I will tell you, this blew my mind. I'd never played a turn-based strategy game, ever. I'd never even played one. And we got this, and both me and my brother became absolutely fascinated with this, and he started playing all kinds of strategy games on computer and stuff like that. You can play against each other on this too, which is actually really cool. Military Madness is... There's so many other games that were inspired by this game. It was called Nectaris in Japan, or Nectaris in Japan. I don't know exactly how you pronounce it, but In America, it's called Military Madness, and it is really cool. It's like I said, turn-based strategy game, and you have all these little soldiers and different vehicles and stuff, and you can set them against the enemies as you fight over, in this case, in this game, the moon. Yeah, kind of a simple story, kind of a simple concept, but as you continue through the game, it gets more and more complicated. I went on after this to play a lot of other strategy games like Lords of the Rising Sun, which was a super seedy game, and of course Bastille, which is one of my all-time favorite TurboGrafx games. I love Bastille. I wish they would have translated the sequel, Bastille 2. Maybe somebody will get that completely translated for us. That would be fantastic. But Military Madness. This game was released on the PC Engine, TurboGrafx 16, and then they did a CD version in Japan that never came out over here. And then I think it was re-released on the PlayStation and the Saturn. I know it was on the PlayStation. But I still love the original. And I still will play this from time to time because it's just fun. You have these little guys positioned on the screen. You can get factories and build things. And you ever played like Dune on the Genesis? Dune 2, the Battle for Arrakis? Also another game that I absolutely love. And I don't play a lot of strategy games like this, but there's a few of them that I really like. This is one of them. It's just really fun. It's not too hard when you get started. Starting out is actually pretty simplistic, as you can see. It's not bad at all, really. So it's not too big of a learning curve as you're getting started. Sometimes these kind of games can be overwhelming, but not Military Madness. I don't think it's too bad. It doesn't get hard until a little bit later. It does get hard, though. That's what she said. Alright. Oh. There we go. And now the computer gets a turn. And of course, like I said, you can play this 2-player, which is really cool. And since it's turn-based, you didn't have to have the turbo tap to play this 2-player. So this is one of the only games I ever got to play 2-player on the TurboGrafx. I now have the turbo tap, so maybe someday I can try some of these other ones. I'm trying to get my daughter to play some 2-player TurboGrafx with me, because there's some really good multiplayer games I've just never had a chance to play. TurboGrafx had a 5-player adapter called the Turbo Tap, or the Duo Tap if you got the other version. 5-player. It's very interesting. A lot of the other multi-tap adapters you saw were like 4-player. There wasn't too many that were 5-player. Okay. I've got to try to get my little dudes over to that base and take it over, or kill all of the enemies. I think I probably have a better chance of getting to their base, though. We'll see how it goes. I'm gonna move him right there. Okay. Oh, looks like I can't get through there. I'm gonna have to go back. I should have gone back in the first place. See if I can get to their base before they kill me. Oh boy. Yeah. It's not good. When they get back in their base, they get a strategic advantage. You get different advantages depending on the terrain that you're on. Oh, we killed a tank. How about that? Okay, well now all I have to do is kill their little dude. I don't actually have to take their base. If you kill all their men that are capable of taking your base, then you win. So, let's do that. Oops, I screwed that up. I cannot believe I did that. It's alright. We don't need to take the base anymore. Come back over here. And this should take care of it right here. You know what? I might be wrong. I thought if I killed other men, then that was it. I think I might be wrong about that. I might actually have to take that base. Or blow up all their... That's what it is. You have to kill everything they have on the field, or take their base. So, killing all their men didn't actually help me. I did it again. I can't believe I just did that. Wow. Keep hitting the button twice. One and one. He's down to just one tank. I want to see if I can take this base. Well, you know what? I'm just gonna kill him. Maybe I'll kill him. I don't know. It's 1v1. Yep, there you go. Alright. Several ways to win. Several ways to lose. I always like that it shows you this little graph. This is your F around find out graph. Icarus, Stage 2. Alright, now it gets a little more interesting. Like, as you go, you see how it progresses? You get more and more vehicles, get more, like, you'll get factories where you can build stuff, and it gets more interesting. So what we want to try to do is eliminate these guys, and we want to do that by luring them into situations where they're vulnerable and our little guys don't get wiped out. Put him in the base. put him on this rock here. And put him up here on this rock. I want to create like a situation where these guys will try to attack and then we can counterattack. So we'll put this guy right there. Okay. Let's see what happens. Oh yeah, that terrain effect helped quite a bit. Alright. So we're going to look at here. He's got 8 there. He's only got 1 there. And he's got 6 there. Okay, so 6, 1. We'll see if we can... We got 3. So we want to try to use the 3 on the one that only has 1. So we'll move that there. Excellent. Didn't even take a loss on that. So that's good. They just got more experience. Alright, so we'll bring him up over here. Have him attack. Okay. We'll bring him over here and have him attack. Now he does have a terrain advantage, so we'll see what happens. Oh, that actually worked out pretty well. Bring him, yeah, right there, I guess. Go ahead and attack that guy. 30% terrain effect, nice. There we go, look at that. And you, position you right over here. And I'm gonna move you up to that one. Okay. And let's see what he's got planned. Gonna protect his dude. %. That's not much of an advantage. But it does have a lot of experience. It's also an advantage that you get. There we go. Things are going pretty well. Tanks and soldiers, kind of an uneven match. But sometimes they surprise you. And some soldiers later on have better weapons. They can really do a lot of damage. Alright, so we've got 4, 7, 8, 3, and 7. This is the last set of tanks that he has, so we're gonna wipe this guy out pretty quick. Okay, and we'll move this guy up. Boom. And now all he has is soldiers. And that is not going to help him at all. This seems a little unfair, doesn't it? They knew the risks when they put on the uniform. Now, he's got a pretty good terrain effect up there, but yeah, I mean, they did okay, all things considered. Okay, little dudes. I think we're gonna pull you back over this way. And you know what? We're gonna go ahead and move you guys. Because we're not really threatened by this guy anymore. That didn't work out too well for him. But the fact that he's even still alive at all is kind of impressive. And that's all of them. But now, look at this. A little bit, like I said, a little unfair. But, now that didn't do a whole lot, but it's alright. Well, that was a whole lot of nothing. You always want to try to keep something on your base if there's a threat. Like if they have little guys, soldiers coming to your base, you want to try to keep something on your base, because if you don't occupy your base, they can just walk in there and the soldiers can just take your base and win. So you don't want to give them that option. Almost. This might be it right here. Yep, there we go. Alright, and the game goes from there. It gets more complex, gets more interesting. And that's just a game that I and my brother both really love playing for years and years. To this day, we'll still play this game. Let's check out something else. Alright, now this is an unusual game. And this is a shooter, a shoot 'em up, that I got that was super cheap. That's why I bought it. But I actually really like this game. It's got really good music and sound effects. The graphics are very unusual. I'm going to turn the sound up just a little bit on it. And we're going to play some Psychosis. And I have literally not played this in years. So there's so many shoot 'em ups on this console, it's ridiculous. And some of them are better than others. This one is pretty good. Nice parallaxing and really cool effects. I love how you can rotate your options like that. Oh man, I missed that. Really good weapons too. Yeah, I missed that one. Yeah, this is one of those games I picked up at Walden Software in the Killeen Mall in Texas. Oh, damn. And it was super cheap. I think I got it for like less than $10. But I played this game a lot. And I think it's a shooter that most people have never heard of. Never even like heard of at all. Oh boy, I don't know if I can get that. There we go. Pretty unusual weapons, but I like them. And I love how your options can protect you in so many different ways. Okay, here we go. It's like getting on a bicycle. You never forget, right? It's a creepy game. But really nice graphics and presentation and everything. Ah, crap. Oh, man. I don't know if I'm going to get past this spot. Ah, man. Yeah, I don't know. Been too long. Oh, wow. I'm just not having good luck here. Oh, come on. Wow. There we go. Gonna be a little tricky right here. Okay, we made it. There we go. It'll slow down there. Ah. Yeah, okay. Well, that's about as far as I'm going to get on this playthrough. Psychosis, it's actually really good. If you can hang in there, it's hard. It's very hard. But you'll start to learn the patterns and you get used to the gameplay and how to use the weapons the most effective ways and this sort of thing. The game actually gets really, really, really good. So... But we've got more games to look at, like I was saying. So let's check out Splatterhouse. I know you've all seen Splatterhouse before, everybody's played it, but it was one of the first games that I got on the TurboGrafx, and definitely an iconic game. Okay, here we go. Splatterhouse. I mean, how can you not love this game? It's not exactly like the arcade, but it's pretty close. It's a very good port. Splatterhouse 2 is on the Genesis, and I haven't ever beat that one. I was kind of mad that it was on Genesis and it wasn't on TurboGrafx, so I never really played it back in the day. But it is really good. Splatterhouse 3 is more of a beat 'em up. It's a little different than this. But Splatterhouse 2 is like this. It's very similar to this. So one of these days I need to play through Splatterhouse 2 for sure. This is a game that the turbo is going to be kind of strange. If you're using a TurboGrafx controller, you probably want to use the second turbo, not the top turbo, because some of the weapons don't work correctly if you use the fastest turbo. Your guy doesn't move. There you go. I was going to see if I could do it, and yeah, I did it the first time. Sometimes that can be a hard move to pull off. That little slide maneuver. I've struggled with it before, but if you can nail it, it can be really helpful. See if I can do it here. Got it. There we go. See? A little tricky. Jump, and then as you're landing, press forward and down when you hit the attack button. You gotta get the timing right. Alright. Oh. Basically, try to stay in the corner here. I love the music and the graphics, the whole presentation of this game. It's awesome. Yeah, alright. The one that got away. Oh well. This is the game that was the killer app for the TurboGrafx 16. This and Bonk were the two that pretty much everybody was like, you have to play these games. There's a couple other ones, but I would say Splatterhouse and Bonk. And for a minute there, the second year the TurboGrafx was out, when they released games like this, like Splatterhouse and Bonk, for a minute there, it seemed like the TurboGrafx might turn things around and might actually find an audience and actually do well in the United States. Because a lot of the kids that I talked to, they don't know nothing about no TurboGrafx 16, but they heard of Splatterhouse, and they were like, oh yeah, that game looks badass. And it was the same with Bonk. And there was a few other games that came along that had that same effect, but almost like they just couldn't quite figure out what they were doing in the United States as far as marketing and all that kind of stuff. But for a minute there, it looked like TurboGrafx might actually do okay. And it's another game that if I'm not careful, I will just play the whole game. Ouch. Oh, damn it. Yeah, I'm screwing this all up. Oh, wow. Misjudged that completely. Ah, alright. It's fine. I didn't deserve to make it through that anyway. I was doing terrible. We'll do it one more time here. And this time I'll try not to screw up. Everybody has their games that they've played a billion times that they can sort of just walk through with their eyes closed. I think I have 4 or 5 of those on the TurboGrafx that are like that for me. We gotta play this. We gotta fight the chainsaw guy for sure. Oh man, I messed that up. Okay, it's all right. Come on, get him. Oh, come on. I can't believe I screwed this up so bad. Wow. One more time. There we go. Took me a second to remember that. I'm going to stop here. All right, guys. These are 4 more of my the first TurboGrafx 16 games that I had, that I ever played. I highly recommend all of these. Check them out for yourself. Legendary Axe, Military Madness, obviously Splatterhouse, and Psychosis. A very interesting shoot 'em up. There's so many shoot 'em ups you could play on the console, but I do recommend Psychosis because it is weird. It's got its own unique thing going on with the weapons and the graphics and the general aesthetic of the game. It's very interesting. So anyway, that's 4 games I recommend for my initial TurboGrafx games that I love. I'll have more videos coming soon. I'll talk to you about 2. I'll talk to you about some turbo chip games that I didn't get until I got a Duo. Some later games. A couple of them are really good, and one of them I hold a grudge about because I wanted it to be. Oh my God, I dreamed that it would be really, really great, and it turned out to be terrible. On the VHS tape that they sent me, they used to send out these VHS promo tapes, TurboGrafx, like Hudson Soft, NEC, Turbo Technologies. And on the VHS tape, they made this game look so good, but it was so bad. That's coming in the next installment of this. Thanks so much for watching, guys. More videos coming soon. I'll talk to you later.